Amy Dunn was truly a cold, calculating psychopath.
I would never, ever hurt you.
She's one of the most disturbing female villains in movie history. She went to extreme lengths to make herself look victimized.
A quick summary of Gone Girl would be that Nick Dunn is suspected of murdering his wife when she disappears on the day of their 5th wedding anniversary. The media makes him out to be this crazy psychopath who obviously murdered his wife. When in all reality, he did not, and he has no idea where she went. Long story short, his wife Amy runs away and tries to frame her murder on him. She even writes diaries saying that he was abusive and he would yell and hit her, and none of these are true. And she also said she was scared for her life. In the process of her running away, she ends up killing someone and then returns home safely in the end, obviously, and wants to live happily ever after with her husband. That's a psychopath for you. Amy exhibits antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is defined as personality disorder in which the person exhibits a lack of consciousness for wrongdoing, even toward friends and family, which makes sense because she tries to frame her murder on her husband. People with this disorder have a total lack of proper human emotion, so while she's doing this, she's not experiencing what we would experience. In Gone Girl, the character who expresses this disorder is Amy, like I said. She has a history of manipulating people to get what she wants without thinking about how it's hurting them. It seems like she has no conscious control. And we see this when she uses her close friend and murders him to help and better herself. People who have antisocial personality disorder often have a disregard for right and wrong. They don't really tell the difference. Persistent lying is common, and deceit to exploit others. Callous, cynical, and disrespect to others also. And using their charm or wit to manipulate others for personal gain or personal pleasure. They're all about helping themselves. Arrogance and a sense of superiority or being extremely opinionated. Recurring problems with the law, including criminal behavior. Obviously, in Gone Girl, she murdered someone and tried to frame her husband of her murder. Repeatedly violating the rights of others through intimidation and dishonesty. And impulsive or failure to plan ahead. We also see this in Gone Girl when Amy runs away to a cabin and she gets all her money stolen and she doesn't know what to do, so she runs off to her friend who she eventually murders. Hostility, significant irritability, agitation, aggression, or violence. Lack of empathy for others and lack of remorse about harming others. And unnecessary risk-taking or dangerous behavior with no regard for the safety of self or others. Often these people have poor or abusive relationships, and failure to consider the negative consequences of behavior or learn from them, being consistently irresponsible and repeatedly failing to fulfill work or financial obligations. Adults with antisocial personality disorder typically show symptoms of conduct disorder before the age of 15. Signs and symptoms of conduct disorder near this age include serious persistent behavior problems such as aggression towards people and animals, destruction of property, deceitfulness, theft, serious violation of rules. Complications, consequences, and problems of antisocial personality disorder may include, for example, spouse abuse or child abuse or neglect, alcohol or substance abuse, being in jail, homicidal or suicidal behaviors, and having other mental health disorders such as depression or anxiety. Social and low social and economic status, maybe possible gang participation, and usually premature death because the result of violence. Psychological effects of antisocial personality disorder include a pervasive disregard for the rights of other people. Criteria for this condition include violation of law, deceitfulness, impulsiveness, irritability, aggressiveness, disregard for the safety of self and others, consistent irresponsibility, and lack of remorse. In the film, Amy took things to the extreme with the psychological effects. Causes of this disorder, it has been found that antisocial personality disorder has genetic links. And this may be a hereditary basis, but environmental factors contribute to the development of this disease also. People with histories of abuse and neglect have been linked to antisocial personality disorder. And there are many theories that try to explain how antisocial personality disorder comes about, but none are proven. The neuroscience behind antisocial personality disorder is neurobiological differences suggest that antisocial personality disorder patients underwent early interruption of developmental pathways, and genetic factors can turn them violent. Some specific situations in which Amy shows the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. Disregarding others' rights, she obviously disregards her husband's Nick's rights because she frames him and makes it look like he murdered her or kidnapped her or something. She wrote a bunch of diary entries that said he was abusive and she was scared for her life when she was with him, but none of it was true. Violation of the law, obviously framing her husband again, and she also murders an old friend and makes it look like he raped her, so she looks like a victim in all this, so she can come back and feel great. Deceitfulness, she makes up the journal entries, as I said, saying that he was abusive, and she spreads her blood around her house, so it seems like she was kidnapped or murdered. Impulsiveness, she decides that random day on their 5th wedding anniversary to just take up and leave. And in the end, she gets pregnant, so her husband won't leave her. Irritability, when she's at the cabin she ran away to, a girl comes up to her and introduces herself and tries to start conversations with her, but Amy wants no part of it. Aggressiveness, obviously the murder of her friend and them making it look like he raped her and kidnapped her. Disregard for the safety of herself. She takes her blood, as I said, and spreads it around the house, and it makes her very weak. She goes and stays in an old cabin and gets all her money stolen. And she also gives herself a black eye to make it look like she was beaten, so people have remorse for her. Consistent irresponsibility, framing her husband, just getting up and leaving town, bleeding herself so she could spread it around the house, and giving herself that black eye. Lack of remorse. She's not sorry for what she did to her husband because she thinks it's fair because he cheated on her, but she almost got him to go away for murder, so I don't know. She also kills her friend Desi and doesn't even care because it's also benefiting her. In my perspective, the actress who played Amy Elliott was Rosamund Pike, and I think she depicts this antisocial personality disorder tremendously. She portrays the disorder accurately and does a great job showing how it affects not only the life of the person who has the disorder, but everyone that they know and love.
My wife, Amy Elliott Dunn, disappeared 3 days ago. I had nothing to do with the disappearance of my wife. I had nothing to hide.
Sammy got friends we can talk to?
No, not really.
You don't know if she has friends, you don't know what she does all day, and you don't know your wife's blood type.
Just being a good guy, so everybody can see him being a good